What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Colonel Cuddly bringing you a monk build that is going to be all the rage for Season 12, patch 2.6.1. So we've got the monk Wave of Light build. You'll see speed builds, you'll see T13 speed builds, you'll see push builds. We'll go over a little bit of each, but the one we're going to focus on today is the solo max XP build, the solo GR build. What you can wear, what you can do, the skills you can use to maximize your XP if you're a solo player or if you're looking for a group. So that being said, we're going to get right into the skills and get this going. So for these skills, we got Mystic Ally, Air Ally, which is purely just a buff and a spirit buff. You are a bit spirit starved or power starved in this build, so you want to make sure you have whatever you can do to buff your spirit, and in this case Mystic Ally, Air Ally. It gives you a bunch of spirit, and it's also a clickable. The passive gives you spirit, but the active, or the clickable, whatever you want to call it, gives you, it says 100 spirit, but it's really closer to 250 with all the other buffs that you've got going on. And then you've got Dashing Strike Radiance, which gives you 15% attack speed for 4 seconds after using Dashing Strike. You're dashing all over the place. This is an in-gown build. Your cooldowns are nil and void, and you're just bumping, burning through the rifts. So this is going to be always up. So it's 50% static increase to attack speed. You can use, if you're dying a lot in GRs, you can use Dashing Strike, Blinding Speed, but the 50% attack speed is just too good. If you're dying a lot, I'd recommend just taking the GR level down a little bit. Then you've got Wave of Light, Explosive Light. Release a burst of energy that deals 830% weapon damage with fire to nearby enemies. This is the best room. You're going to be dealing fire-based damage. You're going to put fire damage on your gear. This is your damage spender, or this is your damage dealer. This is your only damage dealer. This is where it's at. And you got techniques for Sweeping Wind, Inner Storm. Again, this is a buff based on the Sunwuku set that we'll get into here in a little bit. This is key to doing damage and taking less damage. This also, the rune Inner Storm, gets you more spirit per second. Again, it is a key. Notice a thing. And then we've got Epiphany Insight. I know, it's different. 99% of all solo monk builds are using Epiphany. That's your tribe for that 50% reduced damage taken. In this case, we want the Epiphany Insight because we want that spirit per second. 45 increased spirit per second, so you can always be doing damage. And then last but not least, you've got Blinding Flash, Faith in the Light, which is essentially the 29% attack speed, 29% damage buff across all rifts. In this, all the other skills are pretty set in stone. You gotta use those 5. This is where you'll see variations for different builds, different guides, different players. For me, I've been playing Monk since ROS launch, and this is one of the most overpowered skills the Monk has. If you look at the skill itself, creates a flash of light that blinds all enemies for 20 yards within 3 seconds. Elite enemies recover faster but suffer 30% attack loss. We don't care about that first part. We care about the second part. For the Faith in the Light rune, you get 29 increased damage for 3 seconds after using Blinding Flash. Now it is key to note that this does not say on blinded enemies. This is on everyone. And since this is a ranged build, you're going to be blinding enemies near you, but you're going to be doing damage to enemies all over the screen. This is a static increase to your damage. It's not just to the mobs or the monsters near you, it's to all of them. So this is an overpowered skill. Some of the other skills that you can use, that you may see used in this slot, would be Mantra of Salvation. If you're taking a lot of damage, you can use Mantra of Salvation. Agility. The second best result that I've had was Mantra of Retribution with Transgression for the 10% attack speed, because this is definitely an attack speed power build. And I've seen some people run Mantra of Healing. Mantra of Conviction doesn't make a lot of sense because you get more damage from Blinding Flash. This is a 10%, 16% damage if you do active, but 8%. It's not as good as Blinding Flash. You definitely want to use Blinding Flash over Mantra. But number 1, Blinding Flash, Faith in the Light. Good second option, Mantra of Retribution, Transgression. In fact, this might be even a little bit better for T13 farming, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. And then Mantra of Salvation, Agility, if you're taking too much damage. This is a really good option. It gives you 20% increase to all of your passes. And with the Agility rune, it gives you a 35% chance to dodge. Now for the passives, there are 3 that you can't change, and that is Beacon of Guitar, 20% static cooldown, Easy Initiative, which is just amazing. It's 30% attack speed for 4 seconds if you attack an enemy over 75%, which is, again, this is a speed build, so you're burning through the rift. We're talking about 2-minute clears of whatever level you're comfortable with, but you know, anywhere from early season doing speed 70s to end of season, you're gonna be doing speed 95s in 2 minutes or less. Speed 90s, 2 minutes or less. It's insane. And then you've got the other must-have is Harmony. You're not invincible in this build. You take damage, but you don't die very often because it's a ranged build. So as long as you're smart about where you're hopping, you're not hopping into frozen, you're not hopping into molten, you're good. And then the last but not least is Exalted Soul. Again, we are a little bit spirit starved, so this just gives you more maximum spirit and more spirit per second. If you are dying, the options are several. Obviously, near-death experience, the cheat death, great skill. The Guardian's Path would be a close number 2 if you're taking damage. And if you're trying to early season push for gem levels, then you could swap out Seize the Initiative. So you take Exalted Soul, put on NDE, put on Seize the Initiative for Guardian's Path, so you can avoid that death. But Exalted Soul is the first one you want to swap out. You really don't want to take Seize off. And I've seen a few people use Sixth Sense, but there's a lot of debate on whether or not that's working properly, or has it ever worked properly. It's not that. This is 1, this is 2, this is, you probably should, but it is an option. I see this being used. You deal 20% more damage to the enemies that are flying close to the stun. And you're using Blinding Flash in this build, but this is only to those mobs that are near you within the Blinding Flash range, so it's not that great. Unless you want to be a melee one, which in this case, the Wave of Light build is not ideal. Alright, now into the gear itself. So we're using the Sun Wuku set. The 2 set, your damage taken is reduced by 50% while Sleeping Wind is active. So that's this bad boy right here. As long as that is active, you take 50% less damage. Set 4 set, every second Sweeping Wind spawns a decoy next to the enemy you hit that constantly my enemies, dealing 1000% weapon damage, and then Lashing Tail Kick, Tempest Rush, and in this case what's important, Wave of Light have their damage increased by 1000% for each stack of Sweeping Wind use. And you're going to be at full a vast majority of the time. It's changed. The Sweeping Wind stacks have changed. You used to lose Sweeping Wind stacks. You really don't lose them anymore. So you see a lot of builds. We'll get into the gear. Actually, I'll go ahead and talk about the gear. You used to see a lot of builds for Monk that would use the Kairashiro Soul, which is a really good option. It essentially gains Sweeping Wind stacks every second, does not deal damage to the enemies. You're going to be dealing damage to enemies a lot though. You're going to be bouncing from time all over the spot. So the best item in this slot will be the Witching Hour, which is just the max you can get. So for each, we'll go over each item by item and what you want as far as gear stat priority. For Sun Wuku balance, for the shoulders, you want cooldown reduction, resist all, obviously dexterity, and then vitality is an option, or you could do area damage, which is very powerful as well. For T13, I'd say area damage. For speed GRs, I'd say vitality. You got your gloves, which is the ideal would be the quadfecta, which would be cooldown reduction, crit, and attack speed. But this attacks or cooldown takes precedence over attack speed, so this is a really good pair of gloves. You, as always, want that secondary resist because we are using Harmony. Then for your chest piece, you want Dex, Vit, and then the life percentage. And anytime you get Fizz Res, great. We already talked about the belt. Pants, you want Dex, Vit, Armor, secondary resist, and globes and gold and health pickup radius is really helpful, especially for T13 farming. Even though you're going to be using average stand, which we'll talk about, it is a very it's a great secondary. Boots, these are terrible. The only good thing about these boots is they have a red border. But these are poorly rolled boots that just haven't gotten a good pair for whatever reason, or never kept a good pair for whatever reason. So ideally you want Dex, Fit, Wave of Light, movement speed with a secondary resist. Then you have your Pintos Pride. You want fire damage, crit chance, dex, vit, secondary. Then you have your helmet, which is you want the Sogrin's Gaze. Sogrin's Gaze. That's this thing. This is what you want. So you got dex, vit, crit, and then it automatically rolls the 150% increased damage to Wave of Light, which obviously dudes should be able to tremendously. And then for the amulet, you want Saluki Shines, you want fire, crit, crit. You don't have fire, dex, crit, crit is acceptable. And then for the rings, for solo GR farming, you're going to want to use Unity. And then for solo grifting, solo Nephilim grifting, you're going to switch Unity out for Avarice Band with Boon of the Hoarder equipped. We'll get to the gems here in a second. The other ring you want is the Stone of Jordan. I see a lot of people using the Convention of Elements, and that's a good option, but it's not a consistent option. Monk has 5 elements. That's not fair, Diablo. Necro has 3, so they're getting 200% increased damage 4 seconds out of 12. So 33% of the time, they're getting 200% max damage. So if you want to look at it, it's a 66% base damage increase. For Necro, it's overpowered. For Monk, 5 divided by 2, or 200 divided by 5, it's a 40% increase. You're getting 40% static damage increase. Not bad. So Stone Jordan does end up being better because now you're getting fire, which is a 20% increase in fire damage, and then you're also getting increases damage against elites, and you're getting some more spirit, which is also good if it's rolled right. So in this case, it's 29. It can roll up to 30. This is the best ring for consistency. It's really not debatable. If you see a COE, that's fine. It's just you can try it yourself, and you'll find very quickly that the Stone of Jordan is the way to go for this. And then the weapons, you got the Ingyam, must have. Both of these weapons are non-negotiable. You want damage range and cooldown reduction. Ideally, you take attack speed over dex, but this is what we got. And then this is not a great vengeful win. This is just something that I crafted. You want damage range, 10% damage. Cooldown reduction would be better than attack speed, but I don't have the cooldown reduction currently. And it does slow me down. Like when I go through, you run out of stacks, or if you pop out of Ingyam and it expires, you're waiting. So cooldown is definitely better than attack speed. I do like damage a little bit better than cooldown, but I've swapped it back and forth. You can certainly, for T13, there's no need for it. You can pop in for that. And then we're going to go ahead and get to the cube here. So in the cube, you're running Incense Torch of the Grand Temple. Insanity. This has got a massive damage increase for this season, for patch 2.6.1. Last season it was a 30% increase. Now it's a 550% increase. Doing some quick math, that's 18.33333333% damage increase for this weapon alone. So it's huge. Must have, non-negotiable. Nemesis Bracers. This is an XP per hour build. There is no better item for XP per hour or getting maximum XP than a Nemesis Bracer. You don't have a lot of playing time, you're going to get 20% increased progression from Nemesis Bracers, because you're going to get 3 pylons minimum for a DR. And that's 12% just from globes, and then about another 8% or so from the mob you're killing. Not only that, but it's an additional Ingyam proc, which will help you keep moving through the rift. So an Ingyam, or Nemesis Bracers, in my opinion, is a must. If you're not doing enough damage, and you need to, you can also pop in Cinder Coat. It is a viable option, but Nemesis Bracers for speed, experience, and just seamlessness is better because you get that extra proc. And then again, non-negotiable item piece is the Ring of Royal Grandeur. For Paragon, you want as many points as possible. All the points in maximum spirit. So the order in which you should put points in is spirit, movement speed up to 25% minus whatever you have on your boots if you have some on your boots. I like to have at least 700k in vitality. So since I have a really crappy pair of boots, I put some vitality points in, but Don't need it for T13. And then everything else in Dex. For offense, you want to go to cooldown reduction, crit chance, crit hit damage, attack speed. And then for defense, you want to go resist all, life regeneration, armor, or armor life regeneration. Armor is really not that important for a monk because you get it for Dex. And then for utility, you want to go area damage, resource cost reduction, life or hit, both fine. So that is the build. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. It's my first video in almost 9 months, and this will be hopefully the first of many to come. If you like what you saw, comment below, like, subscribe, come see me on Twitch, Colonel Cuddly, Colonel_Cuddly, follow me on Twitter, Colonel_Cuddly, on Twitch and on Twitter. Like I said, comment below. What other guides would you like to see? We're going to do a few other before the season starts today. We're getting close to it. Happy hunting in Season 12, guys. The rest of this video is 2 rifts. I got a GR90 that I did with all my Paragon points, which is about a 2+ minute rift. I do have some sub 2 minute rifts with all my Paragon. Again, I have a lot of Paragon, but I've been playing for a very long time. And then I also did another rift just so you guys could see how powerful it was with over 2,000 of my Paragon points removed. And it was a terrible rift, and I still got about 2 minute or 3 minute and 20 second clear. So even without Paragon, it's not dependent on Paragon, guys. This is a powerful build regardless of Paragon. So again, hope you guys liked the video. Like, subscribe, comment below. Come see me on Twitch. Thanks, guys.